and it makes driving fun. That's how you actually use them when you want to really have a good time. Okay guys, so I listened to you. I know you said you wanted to see some POV action explaining how to use the paddle shifters. You can use the paddle shifters a couple different ways. I would recommend doing it this way first, just until you get used to downshifting and when to downshift and what gear you need to be in. You really want to know your car well before you go into over here to the left to full manual mode. When you get into your car normally, you're in park and you go down to drive, okay, you put it in sport mode, you know, you're used to doing that or whatever. It's in D for drive. Underneath the sport, it'll say D for drive. Now you can use paddle shifters right now. All you got to do at a dead stop, click it once, you'll see number 1. So we're in first gear. So we're going to creep out of here.
Quiet. You gotta creep. Creep.
Come on. You don't say creep creep unless you're quoting TLC.
All right, we're still in 1. We're still in 1. Good thing my car's not lowered because my front lip probably would have smashed the ground right there. Okay, so the reason I recommend doing it this way first, see, we're still in first gear. When I come to a complete stop, it's gonna automatically go back into D, into drive. So now it'll drive like normal. See, just shifted. And I didn't do anything. There's some safeties built in, I believe, to where you're not going to downshift and like blow the engine up or bounce off the rev limiter. I think it's the most fun slapping that baby over to the left. Now it says number 1, we're in first gear. So now we're in like a full manual mode. I hear those gurgles. Oh my goodness, it sounds so good. So see, we're in first gear going down a hill. This could help you save your brakes. I mean, you know, there's a few different things. Mainly, guys, it's just for having fun though. So around 2,500 RPM, I believe, is the perfect shift. Now you can even make it sound like a manual by like doing this. Okay, so what I did there is I give it gas. This is your upshift, okay? This is going up. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way to 8th gear. Over here, this is your downshift. Okay, so every time I go to upshift, before I shift, I let off the gas, and it makes it sound like you're driving a manual car to other people outside. You know, it's kind of fun. Paddle shifting, in my opinion, can get you the most out of the car once you learn the power band and the torque curves, and you really get to know your car well, and you know right when to shift. It's just fun, and it's also fun listening to the exhaust and everything. So I'll get on it after we get out of the park here, of course. Downshift. Downshift again. Now I never downshift to 1, and when I come to a complete stop in manual mode, it'll automatically go down to first gear for me. So I don't like downshifting into first gear. It feels a little rough. I mean, I've done it, but you know, see, click 2,000. You can shift as soon as you want. Now also, this is a twin turbo car and it's tuned. You never want to be in a situation where, like right now, if I shifted this into 4th, 5th gear and I floored it, it'll bog down. Do not do that. If anything, you want your RPMs to always be around the 2,000 RPM, especially, you know, being tuned and stuff. I don't like really being in comfort mode too often. I like to keep it right around here as I'm cruising, around 1,900 RPM. Now, I have had 0 issues with this car. I love this car, and I want it to stay that way. Now, the cool thing, guys, about the paddle shifting is it really connects you to a car. No better way, in my opinion, to be connected to your car than having a manual. I mean, you're in full control of the car. So this, though, is better than nothing. This is a great idea because you can still have fun and you don't have to sit there. You have options. You know, you don't have to sit there and mess with your clutch and rush hour traffic. You can still be in manual mode like this. Like, it's gonna let me stay in third gear as long as I want because I'm over in manual mode to the left. So now if I put this back over to the right, like I said, see, it's gonna shift for me. Now I am in sport mode, so my RPMs are gonna hang a little higher. But I can still downshift, I can still upshift. But like I said, when you come to a complete stop, it's gonna automatically default you and to drive to regular sport mode that you've been doing this whole time. So let's go back into fun mode. I really wish you guys could hear those pops. Well, they're not pops, but those gurgles. Oh my goodness, the gurgles on this thing are flat out badass. First gear. Now, if you were outside and you heard me taking off right there, you would have thought I had a manual transmission. I can mimic that because, again, I'm the human element here. I'm the one shifting. I'm the one giving it gas. The exhaust note is from my foot because I'm letting off the gas after I shift. Then I give it gas just like you would with a manual car. So it's kind of fun. Or, you know, on this next takeoff here, I'll mimic factory shifting for me, like the TCU, how it's programmed in automatic mode right here. So, you know, it goes pretty quick. I can shift faster. I mean, the torque band I notice is right around 4,500, 5,000. Shifting there is great. So second gear, this is where it's really fun with the manual. Second gear at about 2,500, give it a little gas, let it build boost, and then romp it. Okay, it's all about having fun, man. Probably shouldn't have did that right there. You know, it's nice to just have it in automatic mode and cruise because it does the work for you. Now, a lot of the fastest cars in the world are automatics because a human can't shift faster than an automatic transmission.
Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should.
Especially like at a dual clutch. Like, so, you know, there's pros and cons to it. If you're racing, in my opinion, I think if you have the proper TCU tune, you're better off just leaving it in automatic at the track. You know, do both. My best time was using the paddle shifters, so I mean, and it was not using the launch control. Just had a perfect start. I did low 4.3, almost hit 4.2, so I mean, take that for what it is. Upshift. And again, see, right now I'm cruising. I'm in about 1900 RPM. That's where I like to be. Okay, now 45 miles an hour. I can go ahead and go to fifth, fourth, third. I don't like to really go down in the second until I'm around 25, 30 miles an hour. And I like to be braking as I hit second. It gives it a sick sound. You also don't want to like forget, you know, you're in third gear going 70 miles an hour to shift because you'll be sitting there like 5,500 RPM and wasting gas, and it's not the best on your engine. So, you know, don't forget and don't freak out and go the wrong way. I'm sure there's a built-in safety here where you're not going to be bouncing off the rev limiter. But in manual mode, I don't know. I wouldn't want to find out. That's not good. You don't want to be shifting in second gear going 50 miles an hour. That wouldn't be a good situation. So practice, just play around with it. You'll catch on to it really quickly, and it makes driving fun. So that's how you actually use them when you want to really have a good time. And you know, guys, safety first. Don't be like, if you don't have driving experience, do not hop into a car like this and put it in manual mode and go drive crazy around residential places. Of course, you should always be wearing your seatbelt, driving 10 and 2 when you're driving with more experience aggressively. So, you know, safety first, man. Don't be an idiot. This car, man, with E30 mix and manual mode, you know, there have been so many times where I'm going around a corner in second gear, 25 miles an hour. The corner's about to finish up, I romp it, and it busts sideways on me, and it does it very quickly. The gearing in first gear, second gear even, is very low. So, I mean, you will definitely rip it sideways, especially if you have rear wheel drive. It's freaking insane. There is a fuse on this car I can pull, and I'm thinking about doing it. Part of me is like, dude, don't know how to do that. You're gonna break something. But I think it might be worth a YouTube video to make this thing rear wheel drive. If you agree, smash the like, leave a comment saying do it. And if I get 50 of those, then I'll do it. See, now second gear, like letting off, kind of serves as the brake too. So I mean, if you're in a situation where you're driving aggressive, sometimes the brakes just aren't enough, man. You gotta have some even more slowing down power, so downshifting can help you. All right, guys, that's gonna do it, man, for this little paddle shifting lesson. So session's out. Go enjoy yourself, have fun. It's getting cooler out, so take advantage of this weather and be safe. Catch you later.